Hello everybody, it's your boy the Almighty Green Talent. But before I begin, don't forget to smash those likes. And I appreciate it gratefully if you're able to. When you watch this video, please smash, like I said, don't forget to smash those like, hit that notification bell on top of this video, share, comment, subscribe. Alright, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Today is Tuesday. The NBA draft was last week, I think last Thursday, I believe, Thursday and Friday. My opinion on this NBA draft, I gotta admit, this was a weak ass NBA draft. I made a video back here maybe some days ago, I believe, pertaining to the NFL draft and how I felt about it. I still feel the same. But this draft class was probably the weakest draft class ever, because you had up to 12 to 15 freshmen being drafted in the first round. All the juniors and seniors were drafted in the second round. In my opinion, the second round was probably the best draft, best part of that draft. I mean, the first round was a bunch of flukes because you had a lot of players from overseas being drafted, and you had a lot of players that were freshmen being drafted. This draft was weak. I don't expect to see any of these guys become top tier players probably in their second or third year in the league, because the team that were drafted in the top 20 of that draft got majority of those freshman players, and the guys that were overseas were drafted later in the first round on into the second round. Or like I said, a lot of juniors, and seniors were drafted in the second round in draft, along with some overseas players as well. So I really don't get it. I don't know why people make this draft out of a hoax and say that it was the best draft ever. It was not, in my opinion, because like I said, when you get freshmen drafted, you get 12 to 15 drafted in the first round, those guys are probably not going to start right away. They might start in the second or third year in the league, not right away, because you got guys that's on the team that were drafted before them in recent memory with these other teams had a chance to play before them. So they may want to ride on the bench or come off the bench to play, and maybe halfway during the season after the All-Star break, they may get a chance to break open and start playing. But I don't see them playing in the beginning of the season, because like I said, you got players that are ahead of other players on these teams. And the reason why I crowned 2003 NBA draft the best draft, because damn near every player that was drafted in the first and second round wound up playing for their teams. They wound up playing for their teams. Those guys were ready to play. LeBron didn't play probably till around the second half of the first quarter, for the first half of the season, midway to the end to the All-Star break. Midway to the All-Star break, and he wound up playing the rest of that whole season. Not only that, the coach got fired also for that. I forgot that guy's name. I think he was Georgetown's head coach at the time. I could be wrong, but all I do know is that draft class was a top tier draft class. And then 04, 5, 6, 7, probably about 2010, it probably stops right there, and probably a little bit after the 210s. A lot of those guys, some good guys were drafted in those rounds as well. But like I said, this draft class is the worst ever, and it's really, really sad for me to say that. You know what I'm saying? Because see, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll make a recap video saying that I'm wrong. But right now, this is a terrible, terrible draft class. But like I said, you had up to 12 to 15 freshmen being drafted in the first round. And none of them got, like I said, in my opinion, none of them guys are not going to start right away. Like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll make a video right away, and I will apologize for that. But I believe I'm right. I believe I'm right. Some of these guys might start if a player gets injured, or they may start probably in the second half of the season after the All-Star break. Cause we all know the All-Star breaks after 41 games. When the 41 game comes to an end, the All-Star breaks in. That's about 2 weeks right there, and then the regular season begins after the All-Star break. So you gotta look at all these players that's on these teams that are signing big contracts are going to start before these first year players. Like I said, they put down draft class. I don't know if these teams drafted on need or drafted on want. I really can't say. All I know is that I don't agree with this draft class, and like I said, freshmen being drafted, that ain't happened in years. 2003 was the last time you probably had as many as 9 or 10 freshmen coming out of college playing in the NBA in 2003. And like I said, a lot of those guys in that 03 class were one of playing for their teams. They either played the beginning of the season or they played the latter part of the season. And can this 2025 class be like that 03 class? All that remains to be seen. But like I said, this is my opinion on the NBA draft. And like I said, this NBA draft was soft. It really was soft. It was weak. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't get a chance to see all that draft, because on my tablet here, it has an issue with catching with live stream. And the live stream that I did see, I was very disappointed, because like I said, a lot of those guys that were freshmen or from overseas wound up getting drafted in the first, in the mid first round to the end of the first round. But like I said, a lot of freshmen got drafted, between 12 to 15 freshmen getting drafted in the first round. It wasn't that many in the second round. There were more juniors and seniors that were drafted in the first round, second round, along with a lot of overseas players. So, cause everybody know that the second round are for more like developmental players, and the latter part of the first round is also developmental. So, but like I said, we'll see what happens. We really will. But like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I don't mind admitting that I'm wrong. But I guarantee you, a lot of you guys that were drafted in this first round, that are freshmen, will not start. In the beginning of this year's NBA season when it jumps off. Like I said, I'll be one man wrong to admit my wrongs, but right now I don't see it. That's my forecast. I don't see it. So if you guys think I'm wrong about what I'm saying, comment in the comment section below, and while you're at it, smash those likes and let me know what you think. And I don't mind reading your comment. I may get your comment maybe a week or two, or I may get it today. Depends on how long the video stays on YouTube and how long that it remains on YouTube. Because like I said, I got over 1,000 videos, and I did a lot of opinionated videos on YouTube, and they are on there. So anyway, don't forget to smash those likes. And I'm the Almighty Green Cat. You guys enjoy your Tuesday afternoon, cause I got a lot of things I gotta do as well. Peace, family, and let me know in the comments what you think about what I just said about the NBA draft and how I felt about it.